This is my MacBook and this is my Android phone. Over the year or so, I've finally figured out how to seamlessly connect my Android phone to the MacBook. I've always thought, like, before buying a Mac, previously I was on Windows, so I felt like Windows, especially laptops, were a bit buggy. They were just dying on me. If I were to ever get a MacBook, how would I be able to use one without iPhone? After a year or so of having a MacBook, I've finally figured out how I can use both devices, Android with a MacBook, seamlessly, and I don't feel like I'm missing out any other features. Before all you Windows nerds goes into the comments and saying Windows is better, blah 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 blah, I hardly even game the highest resolution or the highest FPS. I don't even need to, because I do most of my stuff on my Mac and my phone. As you can see, I do most of my productivity stuff on my Mac, and I just have my PS5 right here just to game. I feel like it's a perfect combo. I don't have like the interest right now to game at the highest FPS, unless I'm competing here, then yeah, but there's no need to. I can just use my handy dandy PS5. So in this video, I'm currently going to be showing you the best apps I've been using between my Android phone and my MacBook to get that seamless experience. Alright, let's check them out. We have NearDrop. A main reason why Apple users tend to stay within the ecosystem is because of AirDrop, because how seamless it is between their MacBook and iPhone. Having an Android phone, I've managed to get that AirDrop type of experience with my Android phone and my MacBook. The thing about NearDrop is I love how seamless it is. Pretty much it's not like app interface, like you have apps like Local Send. The way in which you can start sending videos is pretty much the share button on the Mac. So if you want to send something from the Mac to the Android, you right click on it and you click share and you'll see NearDrop. If NearDrop is not on there, go on share and say edit extension. Make sure NearDrop is enabled, right click and start sharing, and if you don't see it, go on edit extension. And if that doesn't work, uninstall it and install it again. Pretty much you can see on the taskbar it just shows your device's name. You can either quit it and it's always visible to everyone within the same network. So caveat to this is you have to be within the same network to send files. A way you can get past it is by downloading another app called Blip, which I'll make a separate video about, which is way better than NearDrop. I feel like NearDrop gives that minimal experience where there's user interface I need to deal with and I have to go through one more hurdle just to send it, like Local Send. This is just as simple. If I just want to send, for example, 4 GB file from my phone to the laptop, I just share it via the quick share method and it'll pop up because it's always running on my Mac, and voila, you just accept it on your MacBook also. All the apps that's trying to come close to AirDrop, I would say NearDrop, pretty much the closest you're gonna get to AirDrop. As I mentioned, there's no user interface and it's pretty much simple, just quick sharing from your phone. Once you have those photos and videos downloaded, you need an app where you can view them. That's where Google Photos comes into play for me. Google Photos is my primary application in terms of viewing photos. Being able to have access to my photos on the Mac couldn't be easier. All you want to do is just go into the Google Photos domain, sign in, and you should see a download button at the end of the URL. It should be a pop-up where you can download it as an app from the Google Photos, and voila, as simple as that. Once you have it downloaded, you have the app on your laptop and you can access all the images from your laptop that's on your phone. Make sure autosync is on your phone, so that's where you can view all your images from the Mac. If you feel like you're running out of space within Google Photos, my advice would be to say, if you go in the settings, you'll be able to save the video and photos, not at the highest quality, but compressed quality, so you save space. But in my case, I ended up getting 100 GB storage, so I just pay around £2 a month, which is surprisingly cheap compared to other services. You can either edit the photos, tweak it, you can send it, you can download it. Pretty much what you can do on your phone with the Google Photo app, you can do on the laptop. That's pretty much it. It doesn't get as complicated as that, or rather than just downloading it and opening it. An issue many Android users have who own MacBooks is being able to message seamlessly between their Android phone and their Mac. That's where two applications where I tend to use is Google Message and WhatsApp. In terms of Google Messages, it's a similar way how you download Google Photos. Just go to the Google Message domain and you see a download button, and once you see that, download it and sign into your Google app. It supports all the latest features from RCS, SMS messages, images, emojis, and other latest features that Google Message supports. But the only thing is you're only able to send messages and videos and images. You're not able to make phone calls or video calls. That's where WhatsApp comes into play. Me being from the UK, Europe specifically, a lot of people from Europe tend to use WhatsApp mainly now these days over their normal messages. I would say WhatsApp now is my primary messaging app compared to Google Messages, where I tend to use that reading OTPs and any other messages that I don't have people's numbers on WhatsApp. WhatsApp has a sensational messaging app where it has majority of the features of the Google messaging app, plus the ability to voice and video call and other stuff like group text and group chat. This wasn't an issue for me because, as I mentioned, a lot of people in Europe tend to use WhatsApp now, whereas I know in US a majority of people tend to FaceTime and iMessage still. A workaround, download WhatsApp. WhatsApp video calls and phone calls are really good, so you're not gonna miss out any features from FaceTime or iMessage. Between the iPhone and the MacBook was being able to use your iPhone as a webcam for your MacBook. There's a replacement for Android phones where you can use it on your MacBook, but it's not as seamless as an iPhone and a MacBook. This is where iRunin comes into play, where you could use your Android phone as a webcam wirelessly on your MacBook. If you don't want to use it wirelessly, you can connect a USB-C cable from your phone to the laptop. You should see a prompt within notifications showing use phone as webcam. It's basically like an external camera connected. That's pretty much your best bet. But I would say use it wired, as you're gonna have that stable connection. There won't be any lag issues. You can pretty much download it from the website, which I'll link below. It's iRunin. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's like basically iRun, and then I is between the R and the U. You can get the Android and the iOS app for it, so it supports both devices, and pretty much simple as that. Just download for your Mac, download the app on your Android, and seamlessly connect both of it together and use it as a webcam. Being able to download all these apps, for example messages, tasks, you need a browser. The main key here is not to use Safari, as it's only native on Mac. The other browsers are cross-platform. In my case, I use Brave. I've been using Brave for quite a long time. It has excellent ad blocking abilities, also has great syncing options between devices. I'm able to view my bookmarks from my MacBook or my Android. It has the best ad blocking, which is mandatory in terms of being able to watch YouTube with no ads. In order to get use of the syncing abilities between the devices, make sure you're signed in and you add the code to your settings and add your device code. In my case, I sync everything from passwords to bookmark to also the history. But in terms of the inbuilt password manager, that's where Bitwarden comes into play. I've used Bitwarden for a long time, and I think it's probably the best password manager out there right now. You can sync it between devices. There's Android, Mac, Windows, and a Linux app for Bitwarden. It has all the features of a password manager app, from being able to generate passwords to saving them. My go-to password manager that I tend to use on a daily. These are the apps I tend to use to get the best of both worlds. I gotta give Apple, like, their ecosystem is really tight knit. In a way, it kind of traps you in there because how seamless each device works with each other. If you feel like not having an iPhone to use a MacBook is a deciding factor, then I'm here to tell you don't need to worry about nothing, because still use an Android phone with a MacBook, you're still able to get a lot of the features. But I wish that Apple would add support for AirDrop or Android Clipboard. The features that I have missed out are not game changers, as I'm still productive with my MacBook, being able to, for example, edit, do daily work on it. I think being able to have a diverse range of devices, from, for example, having an Android with a MacBook, or Linux with a MacBook, or Linux with an Android phone, the best experience you can probably get instead of being trapped into ecosystem. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. What other apps have you used that I've missed out in this video? Peace.